Hello, I'm Dragos, and in this video we're gonna see how we're going to deploy Nanobot. Basically, this is an alternative to OpenClaw. OpenClaw is quite bloated from my point of view and is not performant at all. Nanobot, it's a nice alternative that it's lightweight, and we're going to check first the alternatives. So you have multiple alternatives right now to OpenClaw. You have NanoClaw, Nanobot, Memu. I've also created my own Bidoze bot, PicoClaw, IronClaw, ZeroClaw, that it's Rust. So lately a lot of alternative to OpenClaw appeared, and the most interesting one from my point of view, and the one that has the most stars, is this Nanobot, which is written in Python, and yeah, it has like a lot of contributors, and it does a pretty good job. It has MCP support that has just been added, and yeah, basically you can configure it to work with Telegram, WhatsApp, Discord, and a lot of providers. We're gonna see them. It has memory, it has an agent loop, it has tools, skills, and it can be easily installed. So basically you're just going to install UV and you're gonna run this UV tool install Nanobot AI, and then you're gonna configure it. We're going to do this together, and we're going to use it with a coding plan that I have, and we're going to see all of these details. So yeah, basically this is the repository. In here you can see that it has Telegram, Discord, WhatsApp, Faishu, MooChat, Slack, email, QQ, and so on. And in here it tells you how you can use it. Yeah, again, this is in the early stages also, but it is more stable from my point of view than OpenClaw, and it is more light, and you can add MCP support skills like you're gonna do to the other one. You have options to add crons to it and different things in there. So we're going to see how you can install it, how you can configure this. We're gonna do this live. I never did it before, and I am wanting to try it. In here I have an article that it's written for this. Let me see, Nanobot setup, where I create the details that we're gonna use. So we're gonna use Minimax for this, M2.5. I also have GLM5. I'm using GLM in another bot that I have with Agno created, and I want to use Minimax because it's faster, and I have their planner ready. And let's go and check it. So basically you have these options to install it with pip, because Python should be already in there. I'm gonna install this on a VPS provider, and I'm gonna use UV for this, and I already created also an article that will help you get started with UV if you don't have it. I already have it installed. Basically to install UV it's quite easy. You are just running this command and UV it will be installed. If you are installing this on a VPS server, you should activate the firewall also. I have a firewall because I have a Hasner in there that it will block everything that comes to my server except SSH and things like that. And let's go and see how we can install it. So right now I will gonna log into the server with SSH, and I will just gonna run this UV tool install Nanobot to see. I am in here on the server. I am using Z, and this is my VPS server. In here I have the terminal. In the left side I have the code, because we are gonna see the folders that it is creating. So let's run this and see if it's working. Okay, tool install Nanobot. So Nanobot right now it is installed. Okay. And right now we should have Nanobot installed, and we should run Nanobot on board for this. Let's see, not this one. So Nanobot on board, it should be the second thing that we're gonna run, and this should create the workspace for us. It will create the .nanobot in my user that I have in here. So I'm gonna use Nanobot on board like this. Okay, so right now this created the details for us. So you see, if you run the whiteboard, it will not ask you anything, it will just tell you that it created everything. So you need to do some manual configurations to have this set up in there. But again, we're gonna see that. That's why I have opened this with Z, so I can see the config. So in here I should have the nanobot. So this is the folder in here, and you see that you have the workspace in here with memory, history and memory, skills, agents, sol, user, and config. So basically right now in here you have the max token, temperature, channels for WhatsApp, Telegram, which are not configured, and all the details, mode chat, what else, email. So yeah, you have the configuration in here, but again, nothing is configured by default, because right now you need to enable everything in there. And we're gonna start easy, and we're gonna go and configure this to see how it's working. The gateway it's running on this web search tool to enable search. We're gonna use Brave to configure this. So yeah, I mean, after you install it, you'll have this, and then you are gonna need to go and configure all the things in there. So you have some manual thing to do. Okay, so let's first configure the minimax for this, and it should have a minimax in there, and we should create an API key with the model in there. Let's see if minimaxing is here. So API base, extra header, so this is minimax, and let's go and create an API key in here. And in the agents we're gonna add the details in there. And let me see right now, let me create the API key in here, coding plan. I will copy and reset like this. I will create a new one and I will reset it after to not have a problem. So API key in here in Minimax, I've set the configuration. API base in here, I will set the API's base in there with the Minimax thing. And we're gonna move forward between these things because yeah, that's the problem with this. And in here I have the provider like this with the API base. So this is the API Minimax in there, and let's go and open this API base like this, and I will put it into something like that. And agents, let's search for agents. Okay, and right now it is telling to use these tokens. Okay, let me copy the details. Minimax like this. Okay, max token, temperature. I will remove these things because I don't want to have them. I want to use the full context, max tools, iteration, so in case it makes more than 20 tool requests, it will block. Memory window, it is to remember 50 in the past. Okay, right now we've enabled the LLM that it will be used in here. You can go and also enable the GLM if you want. It's the same, it's up to you. In here you have also the GLM, but for now I will just use the Minimax. You are just doing the same thing. You're creating an API key in there, you're putting this endpoint and using the GLM5 to have this powerful open source model in there. And right now Brave search, again you should go and create API key. You will have like 1000 search requests per month free with this, and you can configure this, and I already have in here the details, and I will add the API key. So this is the name, and I will just copy this SS2 so I can delete it after. And right now in there we should have like web in here, tools with web, and we should configure the API key in here in search. So let's search for web because it's the most easiest. So in here you see that you have the tools web search, and I will paste the key like this in here. Max results, you can increase the number if you want, but for this I just want to show you how it is working so you can understand. Okay, and then what's next in here? Okay, this core setup. So right now this should work directly in the VPS server if you're gonna run the commands, but we're gonna link this with Discord. Again, you have multiple options, you can choose the one that you prefer. For me it's Discord. And in here, if we're going to open this, you're gonna see that if you're gonna run this command nano agent -m hello, it should work if we configure the eventing properly. And let's see, Nanobot is thinking. Okay, invalid API key. It doesn't like the API key, it looks like. Okay, let me see. Maybe OpenRouter it's also enabled by default. Anthropic, no. OpenRouter, no. DeepSeek, no. Minimax. And we should have the correct things in here. API Minimax. Let's go again and check what is happening. So this is live troubleshooting. Let's see, maybe I didn't confirm it. I hope that was the problem. Nope, invalid API key. So yeah, Minimax, this is the API key. Let me see a little. Very strange that Minimax doesn't let me configure this. Let me go and configure the Zifu in here and see if I have a better result with ZAI. Because this is strange. I don't know why I'm not recognized in there. API keys. Let me create another API key. Okay, I've opened in here. I'll create API key test so I can delete it after. Let me copy the API key and I will go in here and add the ZAI Zifu API key like this. API base URL. Let me copy the details from in here. and this one. Again, I will put it like this. Okay, I will modify the GLM and remove these things. Now I'll put the null in here, and I'll go to agent and put GPT-5 PT5 like this, or GLM, not GPT-5 like this. And right now let's see Nanobot agent M, hello. It should work. Okay, so you see that right now it is working with GLM code, and right now the next thing that we're gonna do is to go and configure the Discord thing so it can be linked with Discord. I don't know why the minimize didn't work with this. It looks like the API, maybe it was too long or something, but yeah, GLM 5 it's working, and we can continue with the configurations. And for Discord we are gonna open this, and we are gonna create a new application, and we are gonna create a new bot, and we are gonna add it. And in here I have this opened. I will gonna create a new application, so Nanobot like this. I'm a human. Okay, and in here let's go to see what we have in here. Okay, public client, not right now. We're gonna go into bot in here, public bot. Okay, gateway intent. Let me see what I put it in the article. Bot, click add bot, copy the bot token, enable intents, still in bot setting page, scroll down to privilege gateway intent, manage content intent, require bot can't read messages. Okay, message content intent, message content intent, privacy gateway. Manage content intent. I'm in the bot in here, and in here you can see the different options. Okay, in here you see the client ID, generate URL. We are gonna create it after. For the bot in here we are gonna copy. I will copy the token, and we're gonna put the token in here in Discord. Token allow from. I'm gonna search Discord, enable true token. Okay, like this. Allow from, I will not enable this, only for my user right now, but you can put only for your user in here if you're gonna add the allow from. And you can copy the user ID, for instance. If you're gonna do it like this, you should have in here a user ID with the details. but I will not gonna copy this. And right now we're gonna need to go and add the bot to the channel. Okay. Discord provided link, install link like this. We're gonna open Discord. So I've added this, and let's see. Nope. I need to read this. Then generate URL. So OAuth2 URL generator under scope check both. Okay, like this. I'll make it also administrator like this, and right now it should work. So it is administrator, you can put whatever you want. And right now, Nanobot. It should be added, but we don't have the gateway started. So next thing that we're gonna need to do is to go and open the gateway or start the gateway. So Nanobot gateway like this. And this will start the gateway. Okay, starting our gateway, and right now you should have access to the bot. Hi. And right now you see that it is processing the message you have in here, and it should have respond. Hi there, how can I help you? And Nanobot give me latest news on tech, for instance. I'm just curious to see how it's doing and if it's able to navigate the internet. And use the Brave search that we've created with this. Okay, in here you see routers technology, it goes and it does the web page with the Brave thing that we've set, and in here you have all the logs. And it should tell us the news. You see that it told us the news in here. But the thing is that right now it's only working if you are gonna have this gateway started, because right now if you're gonna do it like this, it should not work anymore because you stopped the gateway. Let's see. Hi. And yeah, it's dead, it's not working. The next thing that we're gonna need is to go and create a service for this thing, because right now you have it installed and it will only be started when this is running. So yeah, you need to do this manual work to have Nanobot configured. And if we're going to check my article in there, you see that, yeah, in here I put in the details, so you can configure as many providers as you want, and you can change the agent configuration in there. Again, in here you have some details about what the configuration is doing and the providers, how the memory is working and the details. Okay, for the MCP support you can add MCPs in there. It has a configuration file that you can go and add the MCPs in there. You can even run this in Docker if you want, and there it will run by default, because the gateway it will be started automatically. In here like this you can add jobs to the cron if you want to add it in there, but you can ask him also to go and add cron job. And yeah, workspace restriction, basically in tools restrict to workspace, set to true, it will only have access to the workspace. So if you don't want to grant him access to the whole file system. And again, to allow from with your user, you can do that. And these are some of the commands in here with status. Let's run also status. Yeah, it tells us what the LLM provider is set, and that's about it. Simple thing. And right now for the hosting in here, yeah, you have like the installation with all of the things that we did in here. So to have like options to run this, you can run it with no hub. So if you run this, this will put the process into the background, but this is not very clean. And that's the problem with this, because yeah, it is not clean. The best it will be to create the system with Nanobot service in here with the daemon enabled, and to do that you are just gonna create this. So in ATC systems nanobot.service you're gonna need to create this file. So basically what this is doing is tells to run the gateway, and then you just do daemon reload, enable and start Nanobot. So I guess we can try this. I will gonna sudo vi to create this. You can create also a user daemon if you want. In here I will gonna run on this, and I will put these details. Which Nanobot, to be sure that we have the right path. And in here you see that we should modify and use this path, because from here the bot it's using. So we are gonna modify to run this. So basically exec start, it will tell to run the script that we have, and because I am using the user Dragosh with the customizations like this, I will tell it to run Nanobot from this path, from where the Nanobot is, with which you will be able to find where the Nanobot it is. And right now if we're gonna run the other commands, enable Nanobots and start Nanobot. Okay, yeah, sudo enable Nanobot. Okay, start Nanobot and status. So right now this should be running. Or it has this error. Let me run this command. Yep. It looks like it exited for me and it should not work. And I will request a little help from my friend, which is OpenCode and GLM5. I have this. But has an error. Fix it. Let's see, and I will add the details into the article. Again, I didn't test this before, I just wanted to do it in this video so you can see the details. So right now, let's see if GLM it's smart enough to find the details. Okay, so yeah, I didn't put the correct path in here. He will allow once, he will rectify this, and in the end it should fix the problem, and I will add the fix into the article so you can run this. So it is analyzing. Okay, let's run also this. Copied. Let's open a new terminal. Okay, you're let's see. I'll put these errors. Okay, so it added my user Dragos to run with the Dragos user in there so it can find the details. So right now if we're gonna open this, we're gonna exit. So GLM helped us see the details. So right now this is running, but it is enabled. And in here you see that the only thing that he needed to do is to add the users that had this installed because it was not root. In case it would have been root, you don't need it to put this. So right now this is working, and if we're going to ask it hi with Nanobot. Okay, so it's able to see the messages from this. So yeah, right now you have Nanobot installed and it's working. Even if you are going to check the details in here, Nanobot, you see the Nanobot gateway, it's running, and if you are going to check the gateway, Let's see. Okay, gateway, and here you see that this is the port under which it's running, and yeah, it would be better to have a firewall that is protecting this to not let it open to the internet. And yeah, like this you are deploying Nanobot. I hope this long video helped you and my problems that I have teach you something. So yeah, thanks for watching and see you in the next video.